fellow travelers. It's that time once again. It's time for this. It's time for the Psychedelicatessen right here on Radio Gordo, also on Cheer FM. I want to also throw that shout out to Radio Gordo for having the Spreaker page going. That's how you can listen to this show, other shows of mine that are on there, Pop Your Culture being one of them. And I mention that because we have a bit of a tie-in with this show and Pop Your Culture. Like last week we did that as we had the New Year's Eve specials where it was live music on both outings. Hopefully some of you tuned into both of those. I know that I was hanging out with my kids and we listened to both of those, even way up to 2 in the morning at the end of Pop Your Culture. But this week, what we're going to be looking at is a bit of a tie-in is a David Bowie theme, because David Bowie passed away on January 10th, 2016. Now that's happening middle of next week, so I figured that this week on Psychedelicatessen we'd look at some of that early influential stuff for me and that sort of that more quaint English psychedelia era, and then that's a nice little bit of a warm-up for Pop Your Culture, which is on at midnight. Now that one is going to be part one of a 2-part David Bowie special. I mean, the guy has a ton of material, so we need to stretch it out. And we need to actually get into the music for this week. So coming to us from the 1966 to 1968 Durham Anthology, I have 3 songs standing by to open it up. 2 of the starting songs are mono versions of them. So we have the mono version of Gospel According to Tony Day, and then the mono version of this, The Laughing Gnome.
I was walking down the high street when I heard footsteps behind me, and there was a little old man, scarlet and grey, chuckling away. Well, he trotted back to my house, and he sat beside the telly with his tiny hands on his tummy, chuckling away, laughing all day. Oh, to report you to the gnome office.
Gnome office.
I'm a laughing gnome and you can't catch me. I'm a laughing gnome and you can't catch me, said the laughing gnome. Well, I gave him roasted toadstools and a glass of dandelion wine. Then I put him on a train to Eastbourne, carried his bag and gave him a fag.
Have you got a light, boy?
Yeah, where do you come from?
No man's land.
Oh, really? In the morning, when I woke up, he was sitting on the edge of my bed with his brother whose name was Fred. He brought him along to sing me a song. All right, let's hear it. Yeah, what's that clicking noise?
That's Fred. He's a metro gnome.
I'm a laughing gnome and you can't catch me. I'm a laughing gnome and you can't catch me.
Oh, look, I'm a gnome. Anyway.
Haven't you got a gnome to go to?
No, we're nomads.
Didn't they teach you to get your hair cut at school? You look like a rolling gnome.
Yeah, not at the London School of Economics.
Now they're staying up the chimney, and we're living on caviar and honey, 'cause they're earning me lots of money fighting comedy pros for radio shows. It's the gnome service, of course. Ha ha ha, hee hee hee, laughing lovely. Oh, really? The laughing gnome and you can't catch me.
One more time.
I'm a laughing gnome. Gospel according to Tony Day. Gospel according to Tony Day. The gospel according to Tony Day. If I find a girl, he'll take her away. Rotten Tony. Gospel according to Brendan O'Lear. Gospel according to Brendan O'Lear. The gospel according to Brendan O'Lear. If I buy him scotch, he'll buy me a beer. Tight fist, friends. Gospel according to Pat Hewitt. Gospel according to Pat Hewitt. The gospel according to Pat Hewitt. If it's written on a sweater, then I better not do it. Oh, gotta. Your mind, blow it, blow it. Gospel according to Marion Brent. The gospel according to Marion Brent. Oh, the gospel according to Marion Brent. She'll be mine if I pay the rent. Good old Marion, who needs friends? Oh. In time, take a look at my life and you'll see. Take a quick butcher's, rotten Harry down the hall, wouldn't give you tuppence for him. Rubber band. There's a rubber band that plays tunes out of tune in the library garden Sunday afternoon, while a little chappie waves a golden wand. Rubber band. In 1910 I was so handsome and so strong. My moustache was stiffly waxed and 1 foot long, and I loved a girl while you played tea time tunes. Dear rubber band, you're playing my tune out of tune. Oh, rubber band, won't you play your haunting theme again to me, while I eat my scones and drink my cup of tea? The sun is warm, but it's a lonely afternoon. Rubber band, how I wish that I could join your rubber band. We could play in lively parks throughout the land, and one Sunday afternoon I'd find my love. Rubber band, in the 1418 war I went to sea. Thought my Sunday love was waiting home for me, and now she's married to the leader of your band. I hope you break your baton.
Three of the earliest tracks from one of the 20th and early 21st century's most influential recording artists, David Bowie. We wrapped up that opening set with Rubber Band. Before that, Gospel According to Tony Day, the mono version, and the mono version of Laughing Gnome got everything going. And yes, that's right, it's the Psychedelicatessen, fellow travelers. We're throwing some David Bowie stuff out there tonight as a way of sort of acknowledging his passing in 2016 on January 10th. Passed away due to liver cancer just days after his 69th birthday, and just a couple of days after releasing his final album, Black Star, which I have to say was a really surprisingly strong album to have released so late in his career, and also recorded when his health was definitely failing. I think that sort of frail nature added a lot to it, but we're not getting into that one. We have 3 more songs from that 1966 to 68 Durham anthology collection. We have She's Got Metal standing by, but let's do this one first. This is We Are Hungry Men.
Here is the news. According to the latest World Population Survey, figures have reached danger point, my God. London, 15,075,000. New York, 80 million. Paris, 50 million and 30. China, 1,000 million. Believed in small lots.
My studies include exophagy. I formed my own society to crush the power of fecundity. The world will overpopulate unless you claim infertility. So who will buy a drink for me, your Messiah? We are not your friends. We don't give a damn for what you're saying. We're here to live our lives. I propose to give the pill free of charge to those that feel that they are not invertible. The crops are few, the cattle gone. There's only one way to linger on. So who will buy a drink for me, your Messiah? We are not your friends. We don't give a damn for what you're saying. We're here to live our lives.
Achtung! Achtung! These are your orders. Anyone found guilty of consuming more than their allotted amount of air will be slaughtered and cremated.
I prepared a document
Of air is allowed.
legalizing mass abortion. We will turn a blind eye to infanticide. We are not your friends. We don't give a damn for what you're saying. We're here to live our lives. You don't seem to hear me clear. Do I talk above your spear? Let me explain my project here. Show you how I'll save the world, or let it die within the year. Why do you look that way at me, your Messiah? We are not your friends. We don't give a damn for what you're saying. We're here to live our lives. We are hungry men. We don't give a damn for what you're saying. We're here to eat you. She walked through the door and she'd set up the drinks on the house. She played a good game of darts and the men slapped her back and never took her out. She wore a trench coat khaki. Her hobnail boots were full of holes. She's got medals. Her mother called her Mary, but she changed her name to Tommy. She's a one. Oh. She went and joined the army, passed the medical. Don't ask me how it's done. They sent her to the front line, fighting for her country's name. She's got medals. She got very tired of picking up girls, cleaning her gun and shaving her curls. Then the enemy dropped a bomb. Survivors there were none. People say that when the moon is full and all the stars have gone to bed, you can see a ghost, but that's a lie, because the naughty woman isn't dead. She deserted on the previous morning, replaced her uniform with dresses, silk and green, called herself Eileen, came to London town, now she's settled down. She's got medals. There's a little churchyard just along the way. Used to be Lambeth's finest array of tombstones, epitaphs, wreaths, flowers, all that jazz, till the war came along and someone dropped a bomb on the lot. And in this little yard there's a little old man with a little shovel in his little bitty hand. He seems to spend all his days puffing fags and digging graves. He hates the Reverend Vicar and he lives all alone in his home. Excuse me. Please, Mr. Gravedigger, don't feel ashamed as you dig little holes for the dead and the maimed. Please, Mr. Gravedigger, I couldn't care if you found a golden locket full of some girl's hair and you put it in your bucket. Pour it down. A mother doesn't know about your sentimental joy. She thinks it's down below with the rest of her toys. A ma wouldn't understand, so I won't tell. So keep your golden locket all safely hid away in your pocket. Yes, Mr. GD, you see me every day. Standing in the same spot by a certain grave. Mary Ann was only 10, full of life and oh so gay, and I was the wicked man who took her life away. Very selfish. Oh God. No, Mr. GD, you won't tell. And just to make sure that you keep it to yourself, I've started digging holes, my friend, and this one here's for you. Look at our girl. It's plainly, that's not what it is. Hello, what's this? Dog should be allowed to do it. Bloody obscene.
We wrapped up that set with the atmospheric and nearly gothic, mainly I suppose due to subject matter, track Please, Mr. Gravedigger. Before that, She's Got Medals and We Are Hungry Men opened up that set of three. Those three songs and the three preceding that in the first set represent 6 tracks from the 1966 to 68 Durham Anthology set. The early songs from Bowie's career before he actually recorded the Space Oddity album with which he started to rise to prominence. It took him a long time to actually really capture the public's attention. I managed to do that a couple of years earlier in the UK than before being able to really grab that toehold in North America. It wasn't until around 1975 and the release of Fame that Bowie was able to sort of clinch a good sort of grip on the American market, but it was earlier than that with his more glam rock outings that he managed to do that sort of same level of success in the UK. And you know, there was an interesting album that he recorded in that transition period between that first bit of fame in the UK and that transition to what allowed him to become a star in North America. And this was recorded after he did the 1973 Aladdin Sane album. This was the last album that he recorded with his original backing band, which, much like Alice Cooper and the original Alice Cooper band, had a character and a swagger to it. There was almost like this palpable camaraderie that allowed the band to be a much more cohesive unit rather than Bowie fronting session musicians, which I think, despite the flashy players that he had, it ended up being the kind of thing that maybe allowed him to do what he ended up doing in the 80s, and that's not really such great stuff. So before all of that happened, and as the last sort of adventure with that original band, he recorded an all-covers album in 1973 called Pinups. We're going to do 4 songs from that one because these are all appropriate to the 60s psychedelic era that just love so much on this show. We have Shapes of Things standing by. We have See Emily Play standing by. But we're going to start it off with I Wish You Would, right here on the Psychedelicatessen on Radio Gordo.
somebody's dream still tomorrow. Soon after dark, Emily cries, gazing at trees in sorrow, heartbeat sound till tomorrow.
Before my eyes, just teach me to despise. Will time make man more wise? Within my lonely frame, my eyes just hurt my brain. But will it seem the same? Destroy these lands, don't make them desert sands. Not tomorrow, will I be older? Not tomorrow, maybe a soldier. Not tomorrow, may I be bolder than
I will find a seat within my mind that won't disgrace my kind.
I can go anywhere. I can live anyhow. I can go anywhere. Anyway, anyhow, anywhere I choose. Doing the thing. I can talk anyhow. I don't care anyway. Anyway, anyhow, anywhere I choose. Nothing gets in my way, not even locked doors. Don't follow the lines that have been laid before. I get along any way I can, anyway, anyhow, anyway. I can go anywhere. I can live anyhow. I can do anything. Anyway, anyhow, anywhere I choose. Anyway, anyway I choose. I wanna go. Do it myself. Do it myself. Do it myself. Do it myself. Anyway, anyway I choose.
Wrapping up that set, it was a cover of an early outing from The Who, David Bowie with Anyway, Anyhow, Anywhere. Before that, Shapes of Things, See Emily Play, and at the start of the set, I Wish You Would. That set, along with the two preceding sets, were played tonight because on January 10th, it's the anniversary of Bowie's passing at the age of 69 in 2016. It's hard to believe that he's been gone this long. There is this sort of long-standing internet meme, I mean, long-standing being what, going on 7-ish years now, that basically Bowie left before he knew that everything was just going to kind of go to crap, and maybe his leaving this mortal coil was the thing that sort of spun, well, all of us into this weird sort of alternate reality where each year seems to get successively weirder and more mangled and more twisted and all that kind of stuff. Wishful thinking. I just think we're all kind of maniacs, or at least governed by maniacs, whether they be corporate, political, or economic, or whatever. And with that digression, how about we bring it back to the music? Now, this show, I do have to say that I had a completely different show planned. It was all arranged. It was all ready to be recorded. And then I decided to switch everything up. Now, sandwiched in between the David Bowie that we had starting it off and a nice treat that I have from the Kinks coming up in a little bit. We're going to do some short sets of some great mid-60s material, not necessarily super psychedelic, not necessarily super poppy, but just a great bit of what was going on in the late 60s. This is kind of where we're going with next week's show. I think next week's show might have a little bit more guitar-centric acid rock going on, but this is going to be a fun outing, I think. I'm actually looking forward to this. We got Manfred Mann up at the junction standing by, but let's get it rolling with Cat Stevens. I'm gonna get me a gun.
I've been demoralized too many times, but now I realize no more. I'm gonna get me a gun. I'm gonna get me a gun. And all those people who put me down, you better get ready to run, 'cause I'm gonna get me a gun. It's like the sun. You see the best of me when I have got my gun. I'm gonna get me a gun. I'm gonna get me a gun. And those people who put me down, you better get ready to run, 'cause I'm gonna get me a gun. So you think you can push me around and make me run? Well, I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna get me a gun. I'm gonna get me a gun. And those people who put me down, you better get ready to run, 'cause I'm gonna get me a gun. Gonna get me a gun. Gonna get me a gun. Day's begun and people rush. Off to work by 4:10 bus. Open eyes and open minds. Conditioned to the daily grind. Days begun and people rush off to work by 4:10 bus. Through the factory gates they swarm, similar clothes by all. Overalls like uniforms. See her faces young and old, feeling every crack and hole. Some are floating in a dream, but was yesterday, the better weather's on the way. He was just a thing you like to play with, a little toy for you to pass the day with. Oh, now someone took away your toy, and she will not give him back. What will you do, oh boy? Treats him like a man likes to be treated, not the way you did, you lied and cheated. Oh, now someone took away your toy, and she will not give him back. What will you do, oh boy? You would never ask for anything, you would demand. He was your tin soldier, and you were in command. Now he's gone, you only have yourself to blame. You must find somebody else to play your game. Oh, now someone took away your toy, and she will not give him back. What will you do, oh boy? You would never ask for anything, you would demand. He was your tin soldier, and you were in command. Now he's gone, you only have yourself to blame. You must find somebody else to play your game. Oh, now someone took away your toy, and she will not give it back. What will you do, oh boy?
Short, concise, and just weird enough to be included on Psychedelicatessen. Casuals, Toy, wrapping up that set of three. Manfred Mann in there before that. Up the Junction. Cat Stevens got us rolling with that set, and a track called I'm Gonna Get Me a Gun. Next up on the Psychedelicatessen, we're going to keep the same vibe going. We have the Tremolos standing by. The cut, Suddenly You Love Me. But getting it going is one that I would have to say I think of the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now when I hear it. Tarantino is great for having really good music in his film, and what I liked about the music that he used in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is very indicative of the times without necessarily being the really obvious choices. So I really commend him for that. And maybe I'm also using this as a way of saying I'm going to be going and checking out the film Babylon in the next few days. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm putting my hand up for this, but I'm getting Once Upon a Time in Hollywood type vibes from it. Maybe it's because it has Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie as well. Maybe not. Maybe it's just absolutely me, but there's going to be 3 hours in the theater for that one. Another long one like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I found Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to be really, really well paced, but maybe that is absolutely just me because I know a lot of people also found it to be incredibly drawn out and kind of boring. I don't know. I loved it. This song was in that one, and I guess that's why I rambled on about the movie. Getting this set going, this is Los Bravos. Bring a little lovin'.
I know that it's 10 and you're staying in. And you're staying home and I'm all alone. Won't you bring a little water, bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Know that you want to, and I know that you do. Come in here and love with me. If thunder and rain, it's all the same. I'm paying for this chord, and I don't mind at all. Won't you bring a little water, bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Know that you want to, I know that you do. Come in here and love with me. Won't you bring a little water, bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Know that you want to, I know that you do. Come in here and love with me. Won't you bring a little water, bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Bring a little water, bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Won't you bring a little water? Come on, baby. Bring a little wine, bring a little lovin', and I'll be fine. Oh, there's never been a woman who could treat me like you do, who could trample on my pride and play around as much as you. Well, you really shake my mind up with your cheating and your lies, till at last I make my mind up and I turn to say goodbye, say goodbye. Suddenly you love me and your arms are open wide. Suddenly there's nothing that could tear you from my side. Every time it happens that I turn to walk away, suddenly you love me and I know I gotta stay. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. When you find your fascination in the arms of other guys, you must know my reputation comes to nothing in their eyes. Still you take off in a hurry anytime it pleases you, and you only start to worry when I say I'm leaving you, leaving you. Suddenly you love me and your arms are open wide. Suddenly there's nothing that could tear you from my side. Every time it happens as I turn to walk away, suddenly you love me and I know I gotta stay. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai. Zai, 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 zai.
Mary. And does she wanna give me kicks? Said he wants steady chicken, give me pickled memories. Oh, baby, rather got no tales from all the fails and tribulations no one ever sees. When we met, I was sure out to lunch. Now my empty cup is as sweet as the punch. When big desire is the fire in the eyes of chicks whose sickness is the games they play. And when the masquerade is played, the neighbor folks make jokes at who is most to blame today. And then along comes Mary. And does she want to set him free and let him see reality from where she got her name? And will they struggle much when told that such a tender touch of hers will make them not the same? When we met, I was sure out to lunch. Now my empty cup is as sweet as the punch. Pop to wine. And when the morning of the warnings past, the gassed and placid kids are flung across the stars. The psychodramas and the traumas gone, the songs are left sung and hung upon the scars. And then along comes Mary. And does she want to see the stains, the dead remains of all the pain she left the night before? Oh, will their waking eyes reflect the lies and make them realize their urgent cry for sight no more? When we met, I was sure out to lunch. Now my empty cup is as sweet as the punch. Sweet as the punch. Sweet as the punch. Sweet as the punch. Sweet as the punch.
Now that's a bit of a noticeable or recognizable hit if you're familiar with this era of music like I am, and I have to say that the ears that I presume are tuned into these sounds, you probably know them. That was the Association, Along Comes Mary. Before that, the Tremolos, Suddenly You Love Me, and Bring a Little Lovin' by Los Bravos got that set going. I'm Randall LeRun. This is the Psychedelicatessen right here on Radio Gordo and Cheer FM. That's right, your Saturday night stop for psychedelic sounds. I really enjoy doing this show, and it's always really cool to hear that people are tuning in and checking out what we're doing on here. As I said a couple of sets ago, what we've been doing in these last couple of sets is kind of what we're going to be looking at next week, so I think that's going to be pretty cool. What we had at the beginning of the show tonight, I'm going to throw like another little promo out there for that, is what we're doing on Popular Culture starting at midnight this week and next week. It's going to be 2 hours dedicated to the work of David Bowie. This week on Popular Culture, we're going to be focusing on music from 1969 to the beginning of 1977. It's amazing how front-loaded I personally think his career is, because it's going to be the second half of 1977 all the way to 2016 in the second show. Yeah, we're working quite a few more albums into it, but I just found the quality of his work at first, in those first decade of his career, just to be probably some of the best, maybe the first, say, 13 years, when you start to really bring in something like Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. Anyways, we have some completely different music than that to get into, so let's bring it back to what we have going on. We have a band out of the UK called Traffic. Yeah, you know those guys, Traffic. From them, we're going to check out Here We Go Around the Mulberry Bush. Before we get into that one, let's do this one from R.D. Taylor. This is See Jane.
Red light, green light, speeding through the dark night, driving through the pounding rain. I gotta see Jane. Windshield wipers splishing, splashing, calling out her name. Just gotta see Jane. I left her arms to find my way, to find a place for me in the world outside. I wasn't alive, I could not survive The frantic pace, the constant chase to win the race turned my heart cold inside. I've gotta find what I left behind. Red light, green light, speeding through the dark night, driving through the pounding rain. I gotta see Jane. Freeway, byway, tearing up the highway, running from the world insane. Just gotta see Jane. A town of steel that isn't real. It could not feel what's in the heart of me. I was so alone in a world of stone. I missed her arms that once held me, that made me see I was the only one. Without her there I was running scared, and I could feel the touch of time, turning the wheel of life to yesterday, when love and happiness were mine. I've gotta find that world of Jane and me like it used to be.
Another day. As I look back on a love so sweet, I cry like a baby. Every road is a lonely street. I cry like a baby. I know now that you're not a plaything, not a toy or a puppet on a string. Today we passed on the street, and you just walked on by. My heart just fell to my feet, and once again I began to cry. When I think about the good love you gave me, I cry like a baby. Living without you is driving me crazy. I cry like a baby. I know now that you're not a plaything. I cry like a baby. Just like a little bitty baby now. As I look back on a love so sweet now, I cry like a baby. Just like a little bitty baby now. Every road is a lonely street. I cry like a baby. Cry like a baby. My heart just fell to my feet. You know I cry like a baby. Cry like a baby. You left the water running now.
Now, potentially one of the most well-known songs from that band was not the one that we just heard. The band is the Box Tops. I guess they're most well-known for a song called The Letter, but that outing was called Cry Like a Baby. Before that, Traffic with Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush, and R. Dean Taylor with his C. Jane got that set rolling. Next up on the show, we're going to keep this vibe going for one more set, and then we're going to get into a treat that I said that I have. The treat being, why not give you the heads up right now, we're going to play an entire album from the Kinks. When I was picking out music for this show, I was going through some stuff, and I was like, you know what? Maybe, Lola and the Power, Money Go Round, all that. I should say, what a weird title. I usually jumble it as well. Don't worry, I'll introduce it properly as we go into that set. But anyways, I was looking for some material by the Kinks, and I'm just kind of going through the set list, and I'm like, ooh, that's a good song. Skip ahead a track. I was like, ooh, that's a good song. Another one, and it's like, okay, this is getting to be one of those ones where I might just have to play a few songs. And you know what? I made the bold decision that we're going to check out the entire album. So we got 3 songs to get out of the way before we get into the first half of that one. So coming at us right now, we got a cut from Them. Yes, Van Morrison just bellowing it out with that Irish band of rogues. From Them, we're going to check out Richard Corey, but first, The Silky and a cover of the Beatles with You've Got to Hide Your Love Away.
Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small.
Each and every day, I can see them laugh at me, and I hear them say,
Hey, you've got to hide your love away. Hey, you've got to hide your love away. Try, I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in. How could she say to me, love will find a way? Gather round all you clowns,
Richard Corey owns one half of this here town. With political connections, spread his wealth around. Born into society, America's only child. If I ever heard a man can want power, grace, and style, but I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty, and I wish that I could be, I wish that I could be, I wish that I could be Richard Corey. Papers, print his pictures almost everywhere he go. Richard Corey at the opera, Richard Corey at the show, and the rumors of his parties and the orgies on his yacht. Well, he's surely not too happy with everything he has got, but I work in his factory, and I curse the life I'm living, and I curse my poverty. Richard Corey. He freely gave to charity and had their common touch. They were grateful for his patronage and thanked him very much. For my mind was filled with wonder when the evening headline read that Richard Corey went home last night and put a bullet through his head. But I work in his factory, and I don't dig the life I'm living, and I don't dig my poverty, and I wish that I could be, and I wish that I could be, and I wish that I could be Richard Corey. And I wish that I could be, I wish that I could be, sometime I wish that I could be just like a Richard Corey, just like Richard Corey, Richard Corey, Richard Corey, just like Richard Corey.
Somebody help me, yeah. Somebody help me now. Won't somebody tell me what I've done wrong? When I was just a little boy of 17, I had a girl, she was my queen. She didn't love me like I loved her, now I know. Now I'm so lonesome on my own. Somebody help me, yeah. Somebody help me now. Won't somebody tell me what I've done wrong? I need someone in my life. I need a girl to hold me tight. Someone who can make me feel alright. Somebody help me, yeah. Somebody help me now. Won't somebody tell me what I've done wrong? Somebody help me, yeah. Oh yeah, come on. Somebody help me now, my baby. Somebody help me, yeah. Right now, won't you? Somebody help me now. Somebody help me. Somebody help me, yeah. Somebody help me now. Somebody help me.
And one from the Spencer Davis group that brought that set to a close. The track was Somebody Help Me. Before that, Them, Richard Corey. I think probably one of the other versions of that song that I know the most is done by Simon and Garfunkel. But before Them, we had The Silky and their cover of a Beatles cut from 1965. They covered You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. And now, fellow travelers, let's get into the big treat, I suppose, other than the Bowie material that we had at the the opening portion of this show. As I said, we're going to get into something that I just had a hard time picking which song I wanted to listen to off of this one. So we're going to end up playing in two halves. We're going to respect the vinyl sides, even though this is digital. We're going to respect the vinyl sides of this 1970 outing from the Kinks. And I have the title in front of me just to make sure that I get it right, because it is a little bit of a cumbersome one. The album is called Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Around, Part 1. Now, there was supposed to be a Part 2 of this album, but it was lost in the shuffle. Now, it's one of those things where there isn't really much that's known about what might have been recorded as far as demos or anything like that. It kind of got lost in the shuffle of tours and all that kind of stuff that they never ended up doing it. There was a lot of parts that sort of came out, when they did the Village Green Preservation Society and they did Part 2 of that. What would have been more or less Money Go Around Part 2 ended up coming out as Muswell Hillbillies, which is a great album in and of itself. I mean, the Kinks did some pretty amazing stuff. As side one of this album is going to show, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cuts making up side one. Let's just get it going. This is The Contenders right here on the Psychedelicatessen on Radio Gordo and Cheer FM.
Hush, little Mammy, don't you cry. Gotta see what it's like on the world outside. Gotta get out of this life somehow. Gotta be free, we gotta be free now.
usher and play him your song. He says, I hate your music and your hair is too long, but I'll sign you up because I'd hate to be wrong. You got a tune that's in your head, you want to get it placed, so you take it down to a music man just to see what he will say. He says, I hate the tune, I hate the words, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sign you up and take it round the street, and I'll see if it makes a grade, and you might even hear it play on the rock and roll hit parade. Daytime, nighttime, every week, you can hear that heavy beat. Now the world is shaking from the top to the feet. Daytime, nighttime, every day, you can hear that music play. Every rhythm, everywhere. Facing the world ain't easy when there isn't anything going. Standing at the corner waiting, watching time go by. Will I go to work today, or shall I bide my time? 'Cause when I see that union man walking down the street, he's a man who decides if I live or I die, if I starve or I eat. Then he walks up to me, then the sun begins to shine. Then he walks right past, and I know that I've gotta get back in the line. Now I think of what my mama told me. She always said that it would never ever work out, but all I wanna do is make some money and bring you home some wine. But I don't want you ever to see me standing in that line, 'cause that union man got such a hold over me. He's a man who decides if I live or I die, if I starve or I eat. Then he walks up to me, then the sun begins to shine. Then he walks right past, and I know that I've gotta get back in the line. Get back, get back, get right back in the line. I met her in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes like Coca-Cola, C-O-L-A, cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her her name, and in a dark brown voice she said Lola, L-O-L-A, Lola, la 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 Lola. Well, I'm not the world's most physical guy, but when she squeezed me tight, she nearly broke my spine. Oh my Lola, la 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 la.
Yes, it's number one. It's Top of the Pops.
I've just come in at number 25. I'm oh so happy, so glad to be alive. And everybody says it's gonna get to the top. Life is so easy when your record's hot. Go tell my mama and my sister too. Press my trousers and polish my shoes. I might even end up a rock and roll god. It might turn into a steady job. My agent said to me, son, I always told you so. Now my record's number 11 on the BBC, number 7 in the NME. Now the melody maker wants to interview me and ask about my politics and theories on religion.
To ask you a little bit about your influences in your career
Stand
so
over
far.
Alan and I shut you off. Yeah, shut up a lifetime. This will be a winner.
Now my record's up to number 3, and a woman recognized me and started to scream. This all seems like a crazy dream. I've been invited to a dinner with a prominent queen. Now I got friends that I thought I'd never had before. Strange how people want you when the record's high. When it drops down, they just pass you by. And now my agent called me on the telephone. He said, son,
Your records just got to number 1.
and you know what this means? This means you can earn some real money.
Robert owes half to Grenville, who in turn gave half to Larry, who adored my instrumentals. And so he gave half to a foreign publisher. He took half the money that was earned in some far distant land, gave back half to Larry, and I end up with half of goodness knows what. Can't somebody explain why things go on this way? I thought they were my friends. I can't believe it's me. I can't believe that I'm so green. Eyes down, round and round. Let's all sit and watch the money go round. Everyone take a little bit here and a little bit there. Do they all deserve money from a song that they never heard? They don't know the tune and they don't know the words, but they don't give a damn. There's no end to it. I'm in a pit and I'm stuck in it. The money goes round and around and around, and it comes out here when they've all taken their share. I went to see a solicitor, and the story was heard and the writs was served. On the verge of a nervous breakdown, I decided to fight right to the end. But if I ever get my money, I'll be too old and greedy to spend it all. Life goes on and on.
side one. That was The Money Go Round. Top of the Pops before that. The big single, Lola before that. Get Back in Line before that. Denmark Street, Strangers, and The Contenders at the very start of that set, making up side one of Lola versus Power Man and The Money Go Around Part 1, a great 1970 LP from the Kinks. And now we might as well get right into the second part. If you need to have that snack break or bathroom break, just turn this up a little bit more because we're going to get right back into it. We have a long way from home standing by, but side two does start out with this one coming at us now on the Psychedelicatessen. This is This Time Tomorrow.
An empty sea. This time tomorrow, what will we know? Will we still be here, watching an in-flight movie show? I'll leave the sun behind me, and I'll watch the clouds as they sadly pass me. 7 miles below me, I can see the world and it ain't so big at all. This time tomorrow, what will we see? Fields full of houses, endless rows of crowded streets. I don't know where I'm going, I don't want to see. I feel the world below me, looking leave the sun behind me, and I watch the clouds as they sadly pass me by. And I'm in perpetual motion, and the world below doesn't matter much to me. Well, this time tomorrow, where will we be? On a spaceship somewhere, sailing across an empty sea. Well, this time tomorrow, where will we be? This time tomorrow, what will we see? This time You've come a long way from the runny-nosed and scruffy kid I knew. You had such good ways. I can remember little things that always made you smile. They made you happy. Now you think you're wiser because you're older, and you think 'cause I'm living my life like a good homo sapien. But all around me everybody's multiplying and they're walking around like flies, man. So I'm no better than the animals sitting in their cages in the zoo, man. 'Cause compared to the flowers and the birds and the trees, I am an ape man. I think I'm so educated and I'm so civilized 'cause I'm a strict vegetarian. But with the overpopulation and inflation and starvation and the crazy politicians, I don't feel safe in this world no more. I don't wanna die in a nuclear war. I wanna sail away to a distant shore and make like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, no, I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, no, I'm an ape man. 'Cause compared to the sun that sits in the sky, compared to the clouds that say roll by, compared to the bugs and the spiders and flies, I am an ape man. La 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 la. In man's evolution, he's created the city and the motor traffic rumble. But give me half a chance and I'd be taking off my clothes and living in the jungle. 'Cause the only time that I feel at ease is swinging up and down in a coconut tree. Oh, what a life of luxury to be like an ape man. I'm an ape man, I'm an ape man, oh, I'm an ape man. I'm a King Kong man, I'm a voodoo man, oh, I'm an ape man. I look out the window but I can't see the sky. The air pollution is a fucking up my eyes. I wanna get out of this city alive and make like an ape man. La 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 la.
publishing rival. I got my gal and I'm alright. And she's got me going, and she keeps me safe. Howlin', howlin', got money on the grave. It's the same old story. It's the same old game. Howlin', howlin', driving me insane.
Wrapping up Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Around Part 1. That was Power Man. Ape Man before that, Rats before that, A Long Way From Home, and This Time Tomorrow, making up all of side 2 of that 1970 outing from the Kinks. And now, fellow travelers, we're going to wrap up the show with another bit of David Bowie. We're going to go back to his 1970 release, The Man Who Sold the World, with the album opener, a great one that didn't make the cut for Popular Culture, which is coming up at midnight, part 1 of the David Bowie 2-part special. So let's do this. David Bowie, The Width of a Circle.
And I cried for all the others till the day was nearly through, where I realized that God's a young man too.
starts again. Struck the ground, a cavern appeared, and I smelled the burning pit of fear. We crashed 1,000 yards below. I said, do it again, do it again. His nebulous body swayed above, his tongue swollen with devil's love. A snake and high, a venom high. I said, do it again, do it again. Breathe, breathe, breathe deeply. And I was seething, breathing deeply. A spitting century horn and tail, waiting for you.
That's it, fellow travelers. Made it through to the other side of another edition of the Psychedelicatessen. I want to thank all of you for taking the time to tune in. I hope you take the time to tune in to Pop Your Culture tonight at midnight. We have part 1 of the David Bowie 2-part special. Anyways, thank you to Radio Gordo for being a home base, Chair FM for being a home base. The next time you want a psychedelic time, let's tune in at the same time. Until then, y'all be cool to one another. Peace.